Yes. You know the name, right? Dr. Ren Ebusia. Winya Baswa. Bomadiana share a video, no. Of course. Numero uno, number one. Papa Ghana. I'm here once again. What is the conversation a war a friend say? The chopping board neso. In Sembe ne koso. I think say many na maintain times one and hunu a year or Paul Adom-Otchere. Assemble no worker. In Sembe na branti aneka. Efa a year the name changer ye baba sisa a year a dinya a Ghana International Airport so. Na Paul Adom-Otchere na no atu nsem ama we bie na no akeka nsem pa. Wakeka nsem bebre abusia. Men say wada agene wo mre ne be kwakwa gotie nua Paul Adom-Otchere. Asemo a wakafa eye a friend is saying Kotoka International Airport ye pese yesesa no. Enyo ono nko a owura Afenyo marking ono so eye Voltarian the minority leader ono so de nano atum. Enyo ono nko a ekuofuo bi nso a wo nso susu se wo nso free Volta region wo nso de omano atum. Dr. Ren, the argument for and against, what is my take? Some people to say Franklin Kuju say it is useless to see a sardine. After all, a dean Sisayano, it has not add anything to a year of my Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, come with me as I take you through the most informative program where you did nyansa any nim dear and a kasa. Uko me YouTuber, I'm streaming live. Ewo Dr. Ren TV. Sanso na TikTok and so me wo live. Ewo Dr. Ren TV. Ewo TikTok. Greetings to Johnny Woods and greetings to everyone ma joining me ewo TikTok. Men say wadaji, men say wumre. Come with me na yenti Paul Adom-Otchere nenum asemwa ode atuja.
Kotoka is not rolling. Kotoka is the one who overthrew the government because the government was taking democracy away from the people. That's what Kotoka did. Kotoka is not Rawlings who overthrew an elected government. Rawlings overthrew a government that had been elected. They elected only 2 years, so he took a gun and overthrew them. He is a hero. Kotoka, who restored freedom and restored democracy, is not a hero. It's not a hero because some people who are thinking in a certain way think that he's a nemesis of their antecedents. Therefore, they have to remove his name from anywhere. Kotoka is an Ewe from the Volta region. And the Ewes cherish him, don't they? Now, he comes from Alakpele in the Keta district. Alakpele is where Kotoka comes from. Alakpele in the Keta district. That's where Kotoka is from. And I'm not sure whether the NDC people have asked their supporters how they feel about this, about how the man from Alakpele's name should be yanked off a national monument like the airport and remain it as Accra Airport. Many people support it. But the reason why I don't support it is that we have to create an aspirational society.
Yo, so this is Paul Adom-Otchere, Mami K. It is saying Mami K. Sanso na wa wohwe me bia michia live on the YouTube Dr. Ren TV. You can subscribe. Now let's build a family together. This is Paul Adom-Otchere. The Kasa Wakasa afa the Kotoka International Airport the name change, you know. Now enyo no kwa ekuo bi nso a omo nso se from let me get the correct omo se your friend no Owura Dr. Eli Klim Kwabla Apetogbo. You see where the commissioner of the National Development Planning Commission NDPC has issued a formal retraction and a clarification following a public and institutional concern over his earlier comment opposing the proposed renaming of Kotoka International Airport. And into was say, I wish to unequivocally clarify that the views expressed in the statement were entirely personal and do not represent the position of the National Development Planning Commission. He stated, adding that he takes full responsibility of any perception that his comment conveyed an institution position. Assemble and an papa no eka papa no ensemo ano wo kan nyina ne se ono de osusu se edin a yesesa airport din a yesesa no Saadi, yes, a son, just say, ye need Voltarians and Diniye, ye need Volta region for and Diniye. And inti, according to Sa Urana, dear, no, Susu say, a din Sisayano, a idea, a beha or my Ghana, and a Volta for. Sanso and a MPP, woman so a minority leader, or Afenyo marking, or no so Edina no to sans and semi, Emma, or make key comment. Say, I then ye deny the people of Volta region. The only name Sebio Omwa Omodia two bibisu and crying. Now your best son no, ye name Volta region for a dini ye. Abusia, you know already, Papa Ghana, Dr. Randy Sexy. I will speak my mind, and I hope you also share your own opinion in our comment section. Well, Emra, yedi and Komwe. Now, what is this cry? Obiba Busa say, I say a dean Sisayano a airport no. The only people are almost so against. Okosha background omudu duano MPP for the UP tradition, the Dankwa Dumbo Buzia people. They are against the real naming of Ghana's International Airport. To them, it is very, very wrong. Say your best son, Edin Kotoka. This is the MPP. And paying for Bibra, a what MPP. But I must also say, any MPP for any MPP for Nina, because Ora or no, your friend is Zanku. Yes, Obia or call Kivas Bia enim, Sapapano. A Yakujo upon Nkrumah. Or say, or no, dear, or support to the NDC government, the Ghana government say, or best is a year a dinwa at that Ghana airport. Now, let's go in and then delve deeper into this conversation. Among four be the argument, and it said, one, who here. Two, it's not going to bring any economic benefit to the nation Ghana. Three, Yantuamba Ama NDC for say, Omesisa Edin na enye. Four, we should maintain Kotoka because Kotoka has taught us good lessons, great lessons. You heard a friend is saying, Paul Adom-Otchere. Now, Yendi Esa Mkomowi, these concerns are made the media to Dr. Ren, Maminkum one by one, because I wrote something very briefly on a social media Facebook platform. Me say, and I read, because I'm going to read to you. I'm sure my dear. Mami kwai na minkin kano potokasem. Yeah. Me de beba yanka say loka infantini twinens manen kraine evene. Me de be frafra, me de be futu. What do I say? Wezolo, Mia wezolo, my people. I hope we are doing great. Now, young gom, I mean, me say, it is deeply worrying and frankly sickening to hear Paul Adom-Otchere and his kind attempt to justify the coup d'etat against Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And I went on to say, a coup is an assault on democracy, full stop. There are no good coups, no matter who the victim is. We see, the hypocrisy is staggering. The same people who claim to defend constitutional rule suddenly become apologists for military takeovers when it aligns with their political bias. We say, to vilify Nkrumah, a man who laid the industrial, political, and ideological foundations of modern Ghana, while praising the UP MPP tradition embodied by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, under whose watch the economy deteriorated so badly. Historically, revisionism is at its worst. And I'm to also say, on the issues of renaming Kotoka International Airport, those who argue that the change brings no economic benefit are either being dishonest or deliberately obtuse. Symbols matter. History matters. Nations that respect themselves honor heroes, not coup makers. If names truly have no value, then why does Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park tell a different story? So a here, question me say, why does if names truly have no value, then why does the Nkrumah Memorial Park tells a different story? According to the tourism ministry, over 266,000 people visited the park in 2024-2025, generating more than $10 million for Ghana. And I stated that even in death, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah continues to contribute materially to the Ghanaian economy. This is the irony the revisionists cannot escape. Nkrumah name still builds Ghana. Kotoka name never did. Those who mock this reality, history will not be kind to you. And to the modern day Judases of the NPP, if you admire Kotoka so much, then name your children after him. As for Sajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the great son of Nzima, a true Ghanaian, his legacy remains unbroken, unbought, and unbowed. Change is not optional. Change is necessary. Dr. Red, into bracket, Nzima 100%. Papa Ghana, Canterbury, UK. Asamu Amitroy, or me Facebook no. Machete mu pefe. A simple and tietia. Because I have heard the argument from Franklin Kujo. JJ Rawlings overthrew a democratic leader, government. Yet we celebrate 31st December. TMA. That is the more reason why our MPP Baba Emono. When we say Omobeko Parliament, no more papa sesa a kwanya faso edi holidays. Into Omobetwa 31st nim Omobetwa June 4th nim nyina is because MPP hunu say the constitution no must not praise for June 4th and 31st into yetwemu. And in the books of Ghana no 31st ni June 4th no enye holidays Emma Ghana biem. JC, my answer o question no. Now, there are people who always say, so Rawlings was also a coup maker. It is 100% true. But this is the point here. Jerry John Rawlings had an opportunity in life. Not many people get the opportunity. Kotoka, on his part, fate was not kind to him. A friend is saying future was not kind to him. And into Kotoka, he had the opportunity to reform himself. What do you say? To reform himself. What do you say? And into Oti Asie, se Kotoka. Or no, ye ku ni wie ye no. When to me answer into a democratic person, Jerry John Rawlings got the chance from 31st December 1981. He got a chance in 1992 and usher Ghana back into multi-party democracy. Now, the difference here with Rawlings, he also transformed from military man into a democratic person. And that is why in 1992, MPP, our ballot paper so, CPP, our ballot paper so, na NDC, our ballot paper so, na yakoto aba, editia, a friend is saying, MPP for, Jerry John Rawlings, president of Ghana. Remember, you refer no as a head of state. You're the president of the Republic of Ghana. So we must not glorify a coup. we must not, be happy, say, oh, and Rollins, cool, and Sebio, yes, so, and Kotoka, cool, yes, so. Now, let me give you education here, and you understand the reason why. Rollins did not change the name Kotoka, and MPP also did not change the name Kotoka. DJ Postman, I greet you. Mema education wa hase. Dr. Bernard Memo Akwaba. Godwin Richard. Mema education no. Bewe enim sa particular education way. But for the love of our country, I will speak truth so that we all learn. I'm not saying something kwana minima dear. No, far from it. Anyway, Jerry John Rawlings miss race ni or you have cast. Ghana your friend Ofri Jato. In the olden days, Ofri Jato and our miss race and our have cast were not allowed into any form of a friend is saying security agencies. Now, Jerry John Rawlings being and have cast a ban saying and utimbe a military officer may betray the intra. The first Inspector General of Police under Dr. Kwame Nkrumah Osajefo, your friend J.H. Harley. TME. Your friend is saying J.H. Harley. Now J.H. Harley no. Or no, ne wa say any Jerry John Rawlings. He was the Inspector General of Police. It was J.H. Harley. Anna one enkofo te said the coup. Any Kotokamo and pay attention to CIA. Now, overthrow Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Now, J.H. Harley was upset because Nkrumah say obeti a year commission bia ebehwehwe J.H. Harley a year ne leadership as Inspector General of Police. Because na abeto nenim say Sebio oye den waye chronosem as an Inspector General of Police. Ladies and gentlemen, and indeed Nkrumah, being as he was and a lover of a year training a year no credit any a year obia of fighting against a year corruption no. Now listen here. Ura J.H. Harley, enya information and obo eye deku amanie. And obo Kotoka amanie. And obo eye a free farm amanie. Say, ye ready into papa we free wo. Na papa we ni niama wo ye nyina. Eya dia Sebio emboa wo man Ghana. In fact, it was because of his own personal a friend is saying protection from accounting for the stewardship in tea. He teamed up with these men to overthrow Kwame Nkrumah. Now, the CIA report, Ura Mahoney, a woman, the classified document, HSA, CIA for a share a year, sa emrantie papafoi kutupa. Omuntu Kwame Nkrumah adies. It was because Nkrumah, as a Pan-Africanist, a liberator, was opening the eyes of black men, black people on the continent of Africa, that we should wake up. Na yanji mai, na yankasa, yendi yahoso, because he believed that the black man was capable of managing his own affairs. But the lies of a year, Deku, J.H. Harley mo, womo de no mususu say, as someone a CIA for the abetu omonimu, the right time for them to kick Nkrumah out, so that womo be protected womo bad image as corrupt officials. Now, ladies and gentlemen, very, very sad, because you see, when you look at the MPP political party, I have joined MPP before. At the 2026, I am no more with the MPP, and I'm being honest with you because MPP for Kotoaba, me so Kotoaba, ma Kennedy, man to Ama, for now, dear, me were holidays. Otiasi, me nya resume, DJ Postman, or I say MPP ni pa, T, and then me were holidays. Now, let me go into the nitty gritty of this conversation. Not Tiasi. Look, Kwame Nkrumah in 1947. When he was invited to join the UGCC, which was formed by another Enzima, Alfred Parr Grant, who comes from Axim. The notion is that we are coming to support Alfred Parr Grant so that we can kick out Akwesi Abro Enino. Remember, Edino aye corrupted into any kind of bruni, but the right form of Edini Abro ni. This is how our forefathers, the Akans, referred to aye Akwesi aye Abronino or Brunin. Now, when Nkrumah came, the assignment was simple. Let's gain independence now. Nayandia. Why? Because Alfred Parr Grant, a timber merchant. Alfred Parr Grant was the man who introduced Owura Kufuor's mother. In fact, Alfred Parr Grant was the first man who held the hands of Kufuor's mothers to come with him. Alfred Parr Grant was the man who held the hands of Kufuor's mother. And he first of all brought her to United Kingdom. But this story, Kufuor will not say it. The old thing is Kufuor because nane mami wo UK, no what to turn or a naya kesia. It was because Owura Alfred Parr Grant, a timber merchant. No to timber. Every year, Sebio, Yenuanum wo Asante memu, ebimu wo a friend is saying Achim memu, ebi a friend is saying Bono memu, ebimu Western region in Zima, no to timber, no to timber, no the good shape so, no the about Europe. Maybe I know Tony timber pa Germany. At the time, it used to be West and East German. In fact, Alfred Parr Grant and so no our businesses were Manchester and Liverpool. That is the more reason why I will introduce you Owura Kufuor's mother. Se become home abroche na de bia me kono me pese won so come home na odi wani ko hu abroche na me kono. Kufuor's mother, who comes from a royal family, was very helpful towards the business of Owura Alfred Parr Grant. These stories Kufuor will not tell you. I will tell you the reason why Kufuor hates Kwame Nkrumah personally. One day I will share the story. Now, Emra Alfred Parr Grant who say First World War and the Second World War, Aberiye 1945 no. Akwesi Abroni ni yes obeye smart no wasisi Ghana ni no ofrinzi ma Axim no. Enti timba no a omudi call Germany no eboa eyese omutua no afedie omuti timba ne bo no so ema eboa ne beye te said yesebio Alfred Parr Grant ebeboka odwene ho anu unu se ne sadia timba ni nyina akra ode be che abrofo no na mmomba woba ode yaw ene ebufu hyew ba be ka kire ye nuanu tuntum fo se se ade ya ho firi Akwesi Broni because ono kra no or fight for independence ewonikuru. And then when he came, he gathered men like the Adom-Otchere, and Adom-Otchere also invited Otanka Obechebilamti, former MPP national chairman ne papa. A free one also can say Adom-Otchere Obechebi Otanka say I've got a good friend. And Yebusan say why? Or see a friend Owura JB Dankwa. Or no so a lawyer would ni matrotro na wa bing pa. Honor Owura Alfred Grant said, all that I need to assemble the best brain of Gold Coast men to kick Akwesi Abroni out of our scene. JB Dankwa beka ho ana ono so edini nuanom mo achim ebeka ho ofori atamo. Now, Pa Grant was a millionaire at the time, very rich. He started sponsoring UGCC. Emra UGCC ni koswana eye owura akwaje ka kire Pa Grant say, emra me call eye UK no me koto abrante bi. Abrante no wa beni too much. Now you're full of confidence. Of US abba UK. I think he said we will need that guy. Because he understands the fight against Akwesi Abroni out of the continent of Africa. Who was this young guy? Kofi Ngoloma, my own maternal great-grandfather from Nkrumah. Very smart and intelligent man. He was born alone. Mother's side, the only child. Kofi Ngoloma. But you see, Kofi changed his name to Kwame Nkrumah just to make things easier when he was at London School of Economics. That is another day we will share. UGCC, through the founder, the man who founded and founded UGCC, Pa Grant, told the young man Akwaje, invite this fine brain Kwame Nkrumah. Let him come and help the fight against colonialism. Nkrumah was invited. In fact, they paid for his traveling expenses from Liverpool all the way to Ghana. Nkrumah came and he was met with applause from the likes of J.B. Dankwa, Ofori Atta, Otanka Obechebilamte, Akwaje, and Pa Grant himself. It was a beautiful welcoming ceremony held for Kwame Nkrumah. Their first meeting, Nkrumah made it clear to the people of UGCC. In fact, when Nkrumah came, the position which Akwaje occupied, which is the General Secretary, or removed him from the position and handed it over to Kwame Nkrumah. This is how Akwaje believed in Nkrumah. He believed in Nkrumah so much that the position are not occupied, or the man Kwame Nkrumah said, Nkrumah, Jimmy position, you know. And Nkrumah took the position. The first meeting, he made it clear. We need to kick the white man out of our country now, not tomorrow. It should be now. But the lives of J.B. Dankwa, the lives of Ken Ofori-Atta's parents, the lives of Akufo-Addo's father, they had already cutting deals with then governor of Ghana. They were getting whiskey, brandy, and getting the goodies from the white man. So they were against the independence of Ghana now. Very sad. These are the Judases of our country. In military, we call it the fifth column. That even though they are part of us, they listen to us and they will run and send it to the opposition camp. That is the UGCs, the JB Dankwa Dumbo Buzia people. From day one, they were against the independence of Ghana. Come along with me. When Takoradi Harbour was built, the person who commissioned the Takoradi Harbour was Ken Ofori-Atta, who is now living in detention center in the United States of America. His grandfather was the one that commissioned Takoradi Harbour. This was how they were with the Akwesi Abroni. In fact, they gave him a title, a Knight of British Empire. They knighted him and he became Knight of British Empire. So to them, they have tasted the sweet nectar of Akwesi Abroni. They have wine and dine with the white man. So to the black man, what the heck who are you? They have experienced both worlds. But instead of using that experience to help their people, they rather use their experiences to make things hard for the Ghanaian to gain independence. This was the genesis of the problem between Kwame Nkrumah and J.B. Dankwa, Ken Ofori-Atta, Jake Obechebilante, and Akufo Addo's parents. It was very, very sad. Now, ladies and gentlemen, come along with me. What happened when Nkrumah decided that if it is not self-independence now, then I must say that I have to leave these people and form my own convention. And that is why he named it Convention People's Party. And it's very, very sad. He told his own family man, Alfred Pargrant from Axim, that Mr. Alfred Pargrant, these people in his own Enzima words, many come on, Benkonda ke ye benya fanhudine, imoti. You invited me here, but I'm sorry. I have to part ways with you. To wait. To wait. These people, they don't want us to gain independence. Mr. Alfred Pargrant, I am sorry I have to part ways with you, even though you brought me from UK to Ghana. But your people are not ready. And I know you believe in these, your people. But I'm sorry, sir, they are not ready. I don't want to bore you with those stories of getting along with people and forming his own political party. In fact, as General Secretary, he traveled the length and breadth of now known Ghana. Before it used to be the Northern Territory, the Ashanti Empire, the Trans-Togoland, the Gold Coast. He traveled everywhere. The man was smart. The long and short of this whole story is that he had a conversation with Ni and Saboni. And around that same time, Nkrumah also had a conversation with the people who went to fight the First and Second World War, our veterans. The lives of Sergeant Ajete, Corporal Tipo, and the rest. They were not the only ones. In fact, there were a lot of soldiers, mainly those people who came up from the Northern Territory. They were thick and tall men. Nkrumah met them. They decided to go for their gratuity. But the wicked Akwesi Abroni still did not want to pay their gratuity for them. Hey! And such people are still defending this Akwesi Abroni. This is so sad. Ni and Saboni said, let us boycott anything that Akwesi Abroni sells. We are talking about the city of Accra. Accra, you have no idea. When I hear people saying that if we change the name from Kotoka to Accra, what will it give us? What economical benefit? And to them, I say, may God forgive you people. So you don't know what Accra has done for Ghana. Just as we pride ourselves that, oh, Ashanti region gives us gold. We pride ourselves that Western region gives us oil. Accra gave us the stability of a city. They welcome everybody. Accra, it is priceless if we put the name Accra on our gateway to Africa. The airport, it is even the least to do for the people of Ghana. It is the least. Do you know what these guys did for us? When we talk about the independence of Ghana, la ilala. When I hear people talk like this, when I hear them, do you know what the woman nicknamed Dede Ashikinsha and his group did for Ghana? You have no idea. But these be they. The Judases, the Paul Adom-Otcheres, the wicked soul, the enemies of progress are shouting and screaming that it is not good to name our own airport after the people of Gamashi, Accra people, the Gans. Hey, come along with me and let's learn something. We all know 24th of February 1966, Nkrumah was overthrown. Now, Nkrumah was overthrown. One day we'll go into the story how we gain independence, the suffering, how Nkrumah suffered. It's so sad. February 24th, 1966, Kotoka and Co. overthrew Kwame Nkrumah for peanut. In fact, according to the CIA report, they promised Kotoka an amount of money. Kotoka, Deku, J.H. Harley, Efrifa, they promised them money. And when the coup happened, they did not fulfill the promise that Americans promised to give them. Let me tell you something here, very funny. This guy, Paul Adom-Otchere, anytime I'm in Ghana, the place I go and I just, try and exercise myself a little bit, I go to a woman named Mrs. Efrife's residence. If I am in Ghana and you want to look for me, come to Mrs. Efrife's residence. You will find me. This is where you meet me and this man called Paul Adom-Otchere. This guy hails Efrifa. They worship Efrifa. Oh, I understand. But when Jerry John Rawlings killed Efrifa, these people became upset with Jerry John Rawlings because Jerry John Rawlings has touched Efrifa, who was their beloved. It's so sad. It's so sad. You see, Buzia and J.B. Dankwa, they were the Judases of Ghana's nation. And I will say it till tomorrow. They were bitter souls. What happened? Very simple. Self-independence now. You say self-independence later. Now you see, the airport we are talking about today, let me give you the history. In short, the airport was just a military base, an Air Force base, a very tiny Air Force base, where helicopters will land and helicopters will take off. And anytime these helicopters and planes land and take off, guess what it does? What it does is that it takes Ghanaian soldiers to go and fight for the people of Britain, the British Armed Forces. They will always come and recruit Ghana Armed Forces officers, not only Ghana Armed Forces at the time. In fact, we had no Ghana at the time, so point of correction. But they will come and then take our people. And whenever they take our people, they will go and fight for Akwesi Abroni, Obroni in short. So the Air Force base was an Air Force base for the entire West Africa, the British colony. The Air Force base was linked to the Flagstaff House, where the military people will come every morning and do their normal routine. So the Air Force base, then the 37 military hospital, then the Flagstaff House. These were the 3 institutions that they were using. That is why you see the airport is not far from the 37 military hospital, and it is not far from the Flagstaff House. Because the 37 military hospital was the hospital that they will make sure that they will check all your pulse and check your every vital statistic before you will run to the airport on board flight BA to UK. Now you see, when Nkrumah became prime minister from 1952, he started building what was then military airfield that was established in 1946 by the British people. The air base was very tiny. But in 1952, Nkrumah did something beautiful, redevelopment. He redeveloped the small Air Force base into a modern international airport at the time. In fact, at the time, our airport was beautiful than the airport of Dubai. It was beautiful than the airport of Singapore. Our airport at the time was far beautiful than the airport of Malaysia. They call it the British Air Force, but we say the military airfield established by the British. Now, guess what happened? Ladies and gentlemen, the man who redeveloped the airport into an international standard did not name the airport after himself. How many Ghanaians were educated during Nkrumah's regime? Only few people were educated. Nkrumah could have taken advantage of Ghana, but the man never took advantage of the nation Ghana. In fact, anywhere he goes, even when you gift him boxer shorts, even when you gift him Pieto draws, he will write gift for Ghana, not for him Nkrumah. He built this airport into international standard, named it after the people of Accra. He recognized what the Ni and Saboni and Co did for them. He recognized the fight against Akwesi Obroni. Fast forward, in 1958, after building the airport, making sure commissioned the airport in 1957, the very year that we gained independence. In 1958, Nkrumah established Ghana Airways. Ghana Airways was launched. What a beautiful. I know the story of where Nkrumah wanted to name it after Yasantu and other things. I don't want to go into it today. Time is not there. Now, guess what? What happened? He launched Ghana Airways. We had plenty of aeroplanes, plenty of planes. But before we go into 1958, something happened in 1957. Let's come back and learn 1957. It is important for you to know this. This guy talking for Akufo-Addo, 1957, August, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and his entire family, they left the shores of Accra. Where were they going? Where were they going, Akufo-Addo and Ken Oforiate's family and the JB Dankwa's family? Where were they going? They left Accra, 1957, the very year that every Ghanaian was happy that at long last the battle has ended. Ghana, our beloved country, is free forever. The Akufo-Addos left Ghana and came to United Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, guess what they came to do? They came to seek for political asylum. Interestingly, Today, as we speak, Ken Oforiatta is in the United States of America fighting for political asylum. Oh, history has a way to remind the youthful generation that they should be careful of this UP tradition. Meneme, koname, sanochiohi. Guess what happened? Akufo-Addo and co were given citizenship, political asylum here in the United Kingdom. That is the reason why a guy called Gabi Asare Ochedako was born and bred in the United Kingdom, here at Chelsea. When his cousin, Akufo-Addo, became president of Ghana, he did not leave his British passport. He never renounced his British citizenship. He held on to the British citizenship as if his life depended on the passport. Oh yes, and it is true. He did not accept any political ministerial position. But he was the guy that did the many dirty work named as the PDS for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's family. These people are wicked. These are the people who are against Kotoka International. These are the people. If not anything, you heard Otumfuo or say Tutu when he was saying that, are you not the person that a champion was chasing us? Any time will come from UK. And it is true. Who is Kotoka International? Kotoka International's nephew is Nana Champion, the musician. In fact, it was his uncle, Kotoka International, IK Kotoka International, who brought him to Germany to come and study. We will go into that story another day. When these people got the chance to be in UK, the things they did, ladies and gentlemen, very, very sad. I am not against them, but let's speak truth and let the youth understand the history. Nkrumah, the Messiah of Ghana. Richard, I see you. It was Nkrumah perfect? No, I don't think he was perfect. After all, he's a human being. If a human being can have sex, then definitely that human being will not be perfect. Yes, Nkrumah enjoyed doggy. At least he have his children there. The children are there. The testament of the doggy style Nkrumah gave. Let me speak the truth to you people. If you hate Nkrumah, please, please, whether you love him or you hate him, he was voted the Millennium African. Not 1,000 years old, not 100 years old, 1 million. No African man comes closer to him when it comes to his achievement and his brains. Nkrumah was the man when Lee Kuan Yew flew all the way from Singapore and came to dine with him. And he said, look, I came so I can also tap into your knowledge. In fact, with conversations and books written by Lee Kuan Yew, he also shared some advices he gave to Nkrumah. If Nkrumah only took that advice, he would have lived long. He said to Nkrumah, you see those people that have left the shores to seek for political asylum, make sure you don't welcome them on the shores of Ghana, for they will betray you. And make sure none of their sons and daughters get closer to you, for they will betray you. If only Nkrumah took that advice, perhaps he would have lived long. Name changing. What are the benefits financially? There are a lot of financial benefits. And let me give you some. Just like I said, 2024, 2025, Nkrumah alone, over 266,000 people visited Accra Nkrumah Memorial Park It was the reason why Akufo-Addo invited Samia Nkrumah and told her, we want to honor your father. It was nothing but a lie. Because he had realized that the year of return, the many people who go for visas to travel to Ghana, they ask them, what is the reason you are visiting Ghana? They put it there. We want to go and see where Nkrumah was buried. 266,000 people. Ha! Even Niwomumpo, he still generate money for the nation Ghana. Paul Adom-Otchere, your father who did not take care of you, he could not even take care of you, let alone to even generate revenue for Ghana. And whenever you get the chance, you destroy Kwame Nkrumah as if Nkrumah is your co-equal. What a shock. Hi! Such a thief always get the opportunity to destroy Nkrumah. When I talk about somebody, I don't talk about people I don't know. I know him, Paul Adom-Otchere. Oh, yes. 2024, I remember like yesterday, when Paul Adom-Otchere contacted me that he is in town and that I should broadcast what he's coming to do in the UK. In fact, I did it for him. I did it for him for free. And guess what this guy said? He said that, look, we need to tell Ghanaians who lives in UK that they can fly from UK direct from Gatwick Airport to Kotoka, to Kumasi International Airport. I said, Paul, where from this deceit and lies? It is not possible. The aviation industry does not even recognize that Ghanaians can fly directly from any airport overseas to Kumasi. Because the work has not been done. The paperwork have not been done. Do you know what this guy told me? Don't worry. The people of Ashanti region will believe us. They love the party, so they will believe us. That is why we are here. And we will fly from Gatwick to Kotoka and then straight to Kumasi. But we will carry the news that we flew all the way from Gatwick straight to Kumasi Prempeh Airport. And I look at this guy, how dangerous he is. I shook my head. He said, if you like, join the flight. You can spend just 12 hours and then you come back. I looked at this guy and I asked him, who is going to pay for this? Chartered Airlines. He said the Ghana government. So we are going to spend taxpayers' money just to prove a point. And that point is built on deceit and lies. I don't want to be part of it. I've got pictures, audios, videos I can share on the internet. But for friendship's sake, as I talk to you, before coming on here, I shared a video to Paul Adom-Otchere. He is allowing himself to be used by the MPP. Very dangerous. Yes, if you're an MPP, yes, once upon a time I was also a member of MPP, very staunch member of MPP. And I remember every time my grandmother and my mother telling me, one day, Edo, Mikebeju, Ebadi, Yabo. Ladies and gentlemen, now listen to what this guy is telling the entire nation. Let's listen to Paul Adom-Otchere. Very, very sad.
Rawlings. Kotoka is the one who was taking democracy away from the people. Kotoka is not Rawlings. Kotoka is the one who overthrew the government because the government was taking democracy away from the people. That's what Kotoka did. Kotoka is not Rawlings who overthrew an elected government. Rawlings overthrew a government that had been elected. They elected only 2 years, so he took a gun and overthrew them. He is a hero. Kotoka, who restored freedom and restored democracy, is not a hero. It's not a hero because some people who are thinking in a certain way think that he's a nemesis of their antecedents, and therefore they have to remove his name from anywhere. Kotoka is an Ewe from the Volta region, and the Ewes cherish him, don't they? Now he comes from Alakpele in the Keta district. Alakpele is where Kotoka comes from. Alakpele in the Keta district. That's where Kotoka is from. And I'm not sure whether the NDC people have asked their supporters how they feel about this, about how the man from Alakpele's name should be yanked off a national monument like the airport and remain it as Accra Airport. Many people support it. But the reason why I don't support it is that we have to create an aspirational society.
So, in creating an aspirational society, Paul can name his children after Kotoka. That is very aspirational. Nothing changed. In fact, Paul Adom-Otchere can change his name from Kotoka Adom-Otchere. It's beautiful because we want to create an aspirational leaders. They can even change the NPP party's name to Kotoka Party. It is also very aspirational. Why don't people name their children after Judas or Zacchaeus? Why? Because they know that the name Judas has negative attached to it. Is Judas a bad man? Perhaps if Judas did not betray Jesus Christ, would their sins be forgiven? I'm talking to Christians here. So in short, Paul Adom-Otchere, nothing stops you from naming your children Kotoka, sons and daughters. My wish was the airport to be named after Kwame Nkrumah. But in fact, in the wisdom of this government, it says no. Accra has done a lot for the nation Ghana. Accra has welcomed everybody. Let's name it Accra. It's a beautiful suggestion. After all, we are on the land of the Gamashi people. They have done beautiful and welcomed us. We are all one nation. But truth be told, it is very disheartening and sickening to have a man like Kotoka who teamed up with CIA, and in CIA's document, declassified document, it is in vividly that they paid Kotoka, Deku, Efrifa, and Co. J.H. Harley and Co. to overthrow Kwame Nkrumah. And in fact, they did as their paymasters told them. In fact, the only thing was that they did not give them any money. Now, guess what? After the overthrow of Kwame Nkrumah, Kotoka went to reside at the Flagstaff House. That was where he was living. It's so sad. It means that they hated him. Just like Satan said, he wanted to be like the Most High, and he was yanked from heaven onto earth by the Bible. Ladies and gentlemen, we must speak truth to power, and we will forever speak truth without fear or favor. And today, I came to share with you the good story of how the airport came about. To you watching me on YouTube, if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly do so. Let's build a family together. After all, we are all involved in building a better Ghana. Arise Ghana for you. Now, one of the good things I want to leave with my people, whenever you hear people say, oh, the name change will not bring us any financial, tell the person to go and research that the name Kwame Nkrumah alone brought us millions of dollars. People travel all the way to Ethiopia. Do you know what they want to go and do or such. They just want to go and visit where Hail Selassie, especially the Rasta people. They go there. Say, I want to go to Ethiopia or Ethiopia, as they say in Rasta. They just want to go there. People travel all the way to Jamaica just because of Bob Nesta Marley. Ha! People travel all the way to South Africa, Oliver Tambo. They go there and they just want to witness Oliver Tambo's South Africa. People travel. Look, yes, just recently, AFCON. Oh, what a perfect example. There's this young man who came all the way from DR Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo. And the guy came there, stood like a statue of their first president, Lumumba, Patrice Lumumba, PL Lumumba. And guess what? He will stand and then he will do his hand like this, like the first president of Congo, in remembrance of the great leader, Patrice Lumumba, who saw Nkrumah as his icon. Namdiwe Azikiwe from Nigeria, Tafawa Balogo. These were great sons of Africa. These were people who believed in you and I. They believed in our skin. They believe that it's true the black man is capable of managing his or her own affairs. But these people don't believe in us. They sit and dine and wine with Akwesi Abroni. They eat sausage. They drink wine, champagne. The good thing that they do best is to destroy with everything the black man builds. Imagine if Nkrumah was still alive to lead the nation Ghana. Now I have heard the fallacies and the lies that these people channel. That Nkrumah, declared Ghana one-party state. If the foundation is not solid, the builder who builds in vain. Nkrumah knew that where we were heading towards, we needed a stronger foundation, where every brains and might will be used to build Ghana. If Nkrumah was allowed to build Ghana, we would have had one of the strongest foundations. Just imagine the Tema Township. How beautiful Tema Township looks like. If you come to the United Kingdom in those days and you visit Tema, you would think it is the same as UK. In fact, when Nkrumah built and launched Ghana Airways, he also built Ambassador Hotel. Wow, what a beautiful hotel. Many people were invited. The likes of Prince of United Arab Emirates then. Great men came. They saw the Mediterranean, the Meridian Hotel. They saw the beauty of Ghana. We used to have skyscrapers. The Meridian Hotel was like a skyscraper then. There was no skyscraper then in United Arab Emirates. In fact, when we had motorway, there was no motorway, a single motorway in the United Kingdom. You can research it. Recently, one gentleman came, he said, no, they had a motorway. I said, no, it was a bypass. And later on, they changed from bypass and renamed it a motorway. But at that time, it was just a bypass. We had motorway. And every 1 kilometer, there was telephone booths. Oh, yes. I believe in the Ghanaian that all things being equal, there is no man on earth greater than the Ghanaian. Oh, yes. Because I have sat in classrooms and I have seen and witnessed brains that do not come closer to us. But our problem is how we divide and tear ourselves apart. So we spend so much energy to destroy instead of spending so much energy to build. And if we are to spend the energy to build, I am telling you, we would have gone far. Oh, yes. And in short, I just want you to understand, we shall build Ghana by hook or crook. Whether these people who I refer as Oreo, black outside, white inside, like it or not, the 16 regions of Ghana shall be developed. And one day we will also leave a story that our sons and daughters will be proud of. That yes, Ghana was built great and mighty. May God bless you. May God be with you. May the God of Ghana protect you, whether home, abroad, or overseas. My name, of course, is Dr. Ren, Papa Ghana, the sexy. I love you and meet you same time, God willing, tomorrow. And take good care of yourselves. Salam alaikum. Peace and long life to you.